All right, welcome everybody to the Points in the Paint podcast. Stadium's #1 NBA podcast. Ben Wittenstein.
And I am Zach Badgerhouse, always in the house. Benny boy, how you doing, Chief?
I'm doing well, man. I just back from Vegas, feeling very run down, but I watched a lot of basketball, so I can't complain.
It's the matter of which level of basketball you were watching.
All levels of basketball,
Okay.
all levels of intoxication, all levels of sobriety. It was a trip. Not a lot of sleep, but that's fine.
Okay,
That's what
cool.
March Madness and NBA towards the down the stretch is for, you know?
Oh yeah, it is getting real intense in the NBA. You know, we got March Madness, so the madness in March is always there in college basketball. But in the NBA, it's been heating up in one conference in particular, Ben. So let's dive right into that. But first, tell the people where we can get the podcast.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere. Anywhere you find your podcast. We're on YouTube, too. People want to go on YouTube and listen to us, watch our beautiful, lovely faces. We got some nice graphics going on, so it's all good. And you can give us a call, 773-273-9088. We're on the line.
Yep, they see the number now.
Little voice message. All right, so let's get to one big thing.
Yes, OBT.
Lots of stuff happened in the NBA this past week because we are getting down to the final weeks of the season, so teams are jockeying for position in both the West and the East. And we wanted to start in the West because, as you put it in our rundown, it's a wild, wild West.
Definitely the wild, wild West out there in the Western Conference. Yeah. You see the 4th seed through 12. It could be any man's night, any team's night, any given night. It's so crazy and so intense with the Western Conference. Like, you don't even have to play a game, Ben, and can move up or down in the standings. You can have a day off and move up and down in the standings.
That's crazy.
That's how ridiculous it is in the wild, wild Western Conference.
Yeah, it's wild that it's come to this, which is great, though. I'm very excited that the West is this intense because 4th through the 12th seed. How many games is it separated by? From the 4th to the 12th?
Only 4 games.
That's insane. 4 games between the 4th and the 12th seed, meaning for the last 2-3 weeks of the season, like you said, every game or not even having a game matters to all of these teams.
Yes.
Which is crazy. And you have teams that you look at the standings. Is there a team that you like look at the standings and you're like, okay, I would love to see them get in, or it'd be fun to see this team kind of fall out?
I think I want to see, obviously, the Lakers get in, and I mean in the playoffs. So
not even in the play-in game?
So avoid the play-in tournament and make the playoffs. That would be lovely to see, but we got to count. But that's counting on day-to-day Davis. We all know how
you can't count on Anthony day-to-day Davis.
Exactly. Now, Dallas, Ben, they're currently they're out of the play-in scenario, so they're the 6th spot right now. I'm curious to see how they're going to continue down the stretch. Your boy, he's been out, Ben.
Yeah,
Luka
he's been hurt.
You know what I'm saying? That injury with the hamstring or thigh, whichever one it is, like, it's been bothering him throughout the season, but in particular lately. And so he's been out these last 3 or 4 games, and Kyrie's been out last 3 or 4 games. So they've kind of slipped a little bit in the standings, playing mediocre. They won 2 straight, though. I'll give them that.
They have. Yeah, they've kind of, I don't want to say righted the ship, but they were definitely in a free fall without Kyrie and Luka. And now they have a pretty good game against the Spurs. They had a good game against the Lakers.
They did.
Even though Austin Reeves is seemingly the newest guy on the Lakers.
He won $50 million. Ain't that something? I saw that this morning. It came to my phone. He won 4 years, $50 million off the 35-point game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Man's got to get his bag. Man's got to get his money. He had 16 against the Mavericks, 35 on Sunday. Like, we could have a whole segment on Austin Reeves, which is insane to me. But listen, the Mavs are, I don't know if I want to say they're finding it out because they still have Luka, who's been out. Kyrie, you never know with the guy. So you kind of don't know what you're going to get with them day to day. As we record, they're going to play the Grizzlies tonight in Memphis. That's a fun game because Ja's not on the Grizzlies. You're not going to have Luka on the Mavs. So you're really going to kind of see what these two teams are going to bring to the court without their star players.
Yep, that's true. And then you look at Phoenix, who's been out their star player. Yep. Their new star player.
Their newest one.
He hasn't played in Phoenix yet, the Kevin Durant.
It's crazy.
We haven't seen that Kevin Durant experience in Phoenix, playing in front of that crowd, that Phoenix Suns crowd. And so looking forward to seeing that whenever that transpires. I imagine he comes back maybe the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe the week before.
Depends how much they want to rush him back and kind of where Phoenix is, honestly.
Exactly, because he's a 4th seed right now. And then that matters too, right? What positioning do they really want to be in?
Right.
Like, if the playoffs started today in the West, you got the Suns and the Clippers first round. That is a dangerous matchup. And I think that could stretch a team. Now, if you look at the Phoenix Suns going to 7 games in the first round, that's probably something they didn't imagine themselves really doing. If you probably look back in like November, December, they probably didn't think they would have to go 7 games in the first round, depending on who they would play.
Right.
Now, in this Western Conference, it's fair game, man.
Ooh, they're 2.5 games out of the play-in game, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part. If they start tanking because they don't have Durant, and for whatever reason they start losing games, they could find themselves in the 7 or 8 spot. That's how crazy the West is right now.
Yes.
If you look at anyone but the top 3 teams, they could the Mavs could start losing games, they'd be out of the playoffs.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. The Mavs are 6th in the West right now.
You got Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, who people aren't paying that much attention to.
No.
But these teams are staying in the mix. You would think the Thunder would have just called it quits. They have not.
No.
They're like, all right, if we can stick around in this play-in scenario and potentially make the playoffs and still have all these first-round picks, why not? Let's do it. So I'm on board with the Thunder, seeing if they're going to try to make a run. But I think ultimately the Lakers can probably escape out of the play-in with the help of a LeBron when he returns, and a day-to-day Davis. But remember, day-to-day always is first.
See, I would love to see the Thunder in the playoffs. I would love that. I would love that, A, for them because their young guys are getting playoff experience.
Yep.
But B, they're a fun team. There are a lot of young guys, but they're a really, really fun team with some fun players that I think the general public of sports viewing people have not really watched too many Thunder games. And I bet on them to get their team win total over, and I still haven't watched a ton of Thunder games. So I would love to see people like Josh Giddey, Gilgeous-Alexander, a lot of those guys, even Lou Dort. Everyone loves Lou Dort. But, the whole fully healthy team would be great for the playoffs if they could get everyone there.
I think so.
What are we going to next?
Well,
top spot in the East? We're going to go East?
Yeah, top spot in the East.
Okay.
But at least, I do want to mention this. Kings have top 2 seed in the West.
They do.
They've snuck up and caught the Grizzlies.
We always have to talk Kings. We have to like the beam.
Yeah.
We gotta show a little support.
I do want to add that. They've been playing extremely well.
Yeah.
So they've got the top 2 seed
in
the West. Grizzlies, they're staying afloat, man. They
Somehow.
haven't had Ja in like 6 or 7 games now. I think he's going to come back to the team soon. I think maybe this week. But without Ja Morant, they've been able to stay afloat, and the drama continues with the Memphis Grizzlies. And we will get into that later. But they've been playing better without him as of late, without Ja Morant.
Yeah, they have, which is interesting because you remember last year, we talked about this last year when we loved the Grizzlies. They went on a run without Ja. And, we jokingly said, are they better without Ja? And obviously it's a joke. But for whatever reason, this team keeps it together when Ja is not playing. And for them to continually, especially with how tight that Western Conference is, for them to continually hold on to the 3 seed in the West without their star player and with all the drama surrounding them and Dillon Brooks getting into it, which we're going to talk to, but all of that happening, and they're still maintaining that 3rd spot in the West. That's impressive, and I don't think Taylor Jenkins gets enough credit for what he does with that team.
I was going to say that. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, and he's done a great job.
I think so, too. Let's go out East, right? Because the East, only in the top 3 spots, we got a little drama. It's getting a little dramatic up there, 1 through 3, Ben.
Yeah, it is.
You got the Sixers there trying to catch the Bucks. Now, I remember about 2-3 weeks ago, we was talking about the Bucks streaking. They had won. I think last week I mentioned how they won like 21 out of 23 games. They're still riding pretty well. They're winning their ball game still. But you got 76ers of Philadelphia, Ben. How many games in a row have they won now?
8.
In a row,
8 lovely wins in a row. They are playing the best basketball out of any team in the NBA right now, especially last 8 games for sure, probably for the last month or so. Something's clicked. I don't know if it's Joel wanting that MVP. I don't know if it's the 76ers finally figuring out how to play together, or, the Celtics have kind of been up and down recently, but it's all happening in Philly right now. It really is. And enough so, and we'll talk about this down the line, but Joel's now getting MVP favorite talks.
Yeah, listen to this real fast.
We have a lot of good stats, too, for the 76ers.
We got to go back and double down on what we said last week. This is a player we do not enjoy talking about on this podcast. But James Harden he might be back, man.
I know.
James Harden might be back. He might be that star player he was in Houston again. He may be resurged as that all-star caliber player that we've seen in Houston night in and night out.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, he's scoring a lot, but not only that, and he's not scoring 30 points, 40 points. He doesn't need to. Rebounds, assists, everything that he has kind of shifted himself to become that player where he can facilitate more. It's all coming to fruition.
All coming in together.
It's all whatever Daryl Morey was doing. He's like, this is my view. Embiid leads the team. Harden comes in. He facilitates. He helps stretch the floor a little bit away from Embiid.
Yes.
he's got, for his last 3 games that he's played, double-digit assists, 10, 12, 14. He had 20 assists in early March against the Pacers.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he lead the league in assists. So, that's a lot of pick and roll.
He's averaging almost 11 a game.
That's a lot of pick and roll and pick and pop between him and Joel. And I've been watching that and seeing that, and their connection and chemistry
looks
good
good
coming together. They really look good playing together. They feed off of each other. And that's what you like to see, especially in the half court when things settle down. Can you get a basket between your 2 star players? They've been able to do that. Obviously, it's going to take a lot more come postseason with the MAG season, both Milton and Mel end of the world, and Tobias to raise his game up, because that's been a guy that hasn't been.
It's always my question.
Yeah.
With Tobias, for sure, that's always my question. What are you going to do in the playoffs, Tobias? Because we've seen him be really good in the regular season, and he'll have his moments, and he'll look like that third piece that they kind of need to really make that offense churn. But then there'll be times where it's bad Tobias, and he looks really bad. Can't hit a shot, can't hit a 3, not really focusing on defense. What are they going to get from him? Because it's weird to say Tobias is like the key for them, but he's an important piece.
Yeah, he's an X factor.
He's an important, the glue guy really that helps the offense roll, because Embiid and Harden can do a lot, but they're not going to be able to lead the team by themselves to get to where they want to go, which is the NBA Finals and probably a championship. But the fact that they are playing this well down the stretch, you want to go into April hot. You want to go into April hot. You want to go into May hot. And this is exactly what the 76ers are doing.
And you say, how do you feel about the Celtics? We might have to do a temperature check on them real fast.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, man. The Celtics are really interesting to me because they've looked mortal. They haven't played bad, but they haven't played as well as expectations as we've seen, at least with the Celtics, because they lost their last game. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Yep.
And they've just looked mediocre. Like one game, Brown does well, Tatum may struggle, or vice versa. Tatum may play well, Brown may struggle.
Right.
So you just never know what you get out of them as of late. It's been that way.
Yeah, and it's not like you could say, oh, well, it has chemistry issues. I mean, these guys have been playing well together all the time. So they just have to figure out, if it's one guy's night, maybe the other facilitates. I don't really know the type of rhythm that they want to have, but for whatever reason, they're 5-5. Their last 10, as we talked about, they're it's plateau.
Front court is a problem.
Yeah, and I just, maybe they need this type of rough patch as they go into the playoffs to figure it out. Yeah. But they've been together a long time. These are guys that know each other. That core 4, Horford and Smart and Tatum and Brown, they've been together for a while. They know each other well enough that you don't really need that type of rough patch for bring them together. They know what they have to do. They know their roles. They know how to play with each other. So for them to be losing games they shouldn't, or look bad in games that they should be dominating in, a little concerning. It's a little concerning, because in a playoff series, that's the type of stuff that you can attack as an opposing team. You look on these games the past couple of weeks, you say, all right, this is how the Celtics are struggling. We're going to attack that.
And you know what's funny? I think the biggest key is the paint area. Robert Williams is the biggest question mark, I think, for that Boston Celtics team. Yeah. What is he going to be? Is he going to be available first and foremost?
That's the thing. The injuries have hurt this team for sure.
How much he's going to be able to give you once he is available, Robert Williams. So that's a big question mark that they're going to have for the Boston Celtics down the stretch of the season.
Right. And right now they're securely in the top 3.
Right.
They're tied with the 76ers for the second spot. The 76ers have been streaking, as we said, 8 wins in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Celtics 5-5 in their last 10. They lost a game. I just, maybe they're coasting into the playoffs. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Okay.
We're top 3. We're okay with where we are. We feel like we can beat any team below us.
Okay.
We're just going to kind of coast into the playoffs, try not to get anyone too hurt, because we have been injury prone this past season. And maybe that's just what the plan is. I don't know. I don't know. But it hopefully that's their plan, because of some of the games that they've been losing,
they shouldn't really lose.
You can't lose to the Rockets. You can't lose to the Rockets. You just cannot lose to the Rockets. You cannot only score 109 points on that Rockets defense. You just can't, especially when you have a guy like Jaylen Brown going off for 43 points.
Yeah, he went off, and I watched that game too. Yep.
You can't do that. You just can't. So a little worried about the Celtics.
Ooh, speaking of worry.
Oh yeah, look at that transition time.
Speaking of worry,
what is
the worry, sir? What's your worry level over? You know what I'm saying? The Nuggets. Listen, they went on the road.
It's a little worrisome.
Last week we talked about it. They were going on the road, Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
See what they can do. See what they're made of. The Denver Nuggets, led by your boy Nikola Jokic, who is no longer the MVP favorite, sir.
It's fumbles the bag.
Yeah, he fumbling the bag a little bit.
Fumbling the bag. Not only him though. The team needs to play better here. the team needs to play better.
They're 2-2
Jamal Murray needs to hit
now.
his shots. They need to play defense. For the love of God, they got to play defense.
I think against the Nets game, I think finally Murray
He finally found some of his shot.
He played well. Porter played well, I think, in that win. And so
that's why they won. That's why they won. You had Jamal Murray going like 1 for 5, 1 for 6, 0 for 4 from 3, a week or two ago when this team, it wasn't helping that his offense just not producing wasn't great, but it was about that time the defense started going downhill. Hasn't really recovered. Not like they were an amazing defensive team to begin with, but they were solid. They had really good defensive nights at some points. But, man, they are not good defensively. And I was trying to look up some of their advanced stats, their defensive rating over the last
they lost to the Raptors.
Month or so.
Last 4 games. They lost to the Raptors, which I was surprised by. They beat the Pistons, a team that you probably should beat, supposed to beat. They lost to the Knicks in the Garden. And then I figured, one thing I will say about the Nuggets is that they kind of do a decent job in like bounce back games.
They do. I love betting them in bounce back games.
So
I do.
During this stretch, this 4-game stretch they've been on the road, they didn't lose neither of these games in a row. So they may have lost one game, win the next one, lose one, then win the next one.
Right.
It's been that kind of scenario for them. And now they close this road. They close this road trip with the Wizards. That's a team I feel like they can beat. But, the Wizards do a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. So defensively, the Nuggets are going to have to bring it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They are 23rd in defensive rating in the NBA over the last 10 games. They have not brought it defensively for down the stretch of this season, which is definitely concerning. And I'm always concerned about the Nuggets defensively and kind of how they're able to stick with their game plan. I think especially when Jokic goes out, the bench is terrible. The bench loses leads
constantly. They never
play
DeAndre Jordan. They never play him.
No, Thomas Bryant, I love the guy for being an IU alum. I don't know if he's the answer for them. I thought it was a good pickup in the trade deadline.
We did. We both did.
I don't know if it's really super worked out for them, but this is a team that's an average defensively throughout the season. I think they're 15th or 16th in defensive rating. 23rd over the last 10, so they're a lot worse than their average defensively. That is something you need to figure out. But it's not only that. You do have offensive issues. You have issues when Jokic leaves the court. When he is off, they don't have the guy, or they don't even have anyone to rely on. Jamal Murray's not doing that. Michael Porter Jr., bless his heart. That man's got nothing upstairs in his brain for basketball. He's enormously talented, one of the most talented players in the league, but he just doesn't have the IQ to match, so he's not really going to do much help. Aaron Gordon can only do so much. They're a kind of an average team when Jokic isn't on the court. That's tough because you can't play Jokic 48 minutes a night.
You can't. Your Doey son out there already looked gassed the moment he stepped foot on the floor anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's blameless. He could work better defensively. He could work harder
because he be getting fed. Yep.
But the thing is, too, maybe he's taking the LeBron view where it's like, all right, regular season, we're a 1 seed. We're not going to be able to drop that much. I'm resting up for the playoffs.
No, you ain't just compared Nikola Jokic to LeBron.
Hey,
James,
almost a 3-time MVP.
Oh,
he's getting up there. Maybe but again, maybe he's taking like we'll wait till playoffs. I'm not going to exert myself this much. I know I have to play 35-plus minutes a night for this team to win. We're a 1 seed. We're all right. Okay. Maybe that's what he's doing, maybe not. I don't know. I'm hoping that's the road that he's taken, because if he goes into the playoffs with that defense, oh boy, Nuggets might be a first round out.
Well, the Nuggets are struggling on the road, or average on the road.
Yep.
But a team that could just completely worse than they are, or just terrible,
Warriors.
The Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
They are 7-29.
Oh, geez. Good
on the road.
That's rough.
This season. They are struggling to win games away from Chase Center.
Yeah.
It's very, very bad. I don't know why people are getting on TV and continually trying to believe in this Golden State Warrior team. I do not understand.
Especially on the road.
Especially on the road. In order to be a championship contending team, you have to be able to win tough, close games on the road. Sir, they got up against the Memphis Grizzlies by 3 points. Go check the box score and see the final score of the game, man. They lost by nearly 20 points. You cannot blow leads like that. You can't come into a game, fight hard, come back into the game, and then just let the lead go.
Yep.
Completely just gas out the lead.
Yep, 100%. It's something that they will need to figure out come playoff time. And I know, we have a What's the Worry segment, which is what this is. And my worry, I would say it's 7. I would say it's a 7 for them on the road because the only reason, if this was any other team, I would be at about a 10 or a 12.
You're doing that thing that they do.
But because it's the Warriors.
See, you're doing that thing that I just talked about.
This is a team that knows how to play in the postseason.
You're doing that thing that I'm talking about.
That's the only way I can look at it. Because that's the thing. It's just like, maybe, I don't know. I just don't know. I think that they've been around the block long enough.
I'm still Jenny from the block. So they're still the Warriors from the block.
Playoff time, they're gonna know how to shape up on the road. I don't know. It's a little concerning that they can't do it right now. And the fact that it's become a trend and it's become this well known of a trend and they haven't made any adjustments to change that is concerning.
It's high level concerning. Ben, there are literally only like 12 games left in the NBA season.
Yeah.
What more do you need to see from the Warriors to convince you that this is not a championship level team right now? Like, what else is there?
Yeah, I'm not saying they are. I don't think that they are a championship level team at this point, but I don't think that their road woes are going to translate to the playoffs as much. As much. Man. I don't think they're going to suddenly become a great road team. But I don't know if it's going to translate a lot in the playoffs.
Oh, wait.
And the only way I could be right is when they make the playoffs. We'll see what happens. But
if they make the way they play on the road, they might not make the playoffs. They might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah. That's the concern. No, that's very much the concern. You know what? They lost their last 3 in a row. They're 7th in the West.
I tell you what, if they got to go into the play-in scenario.
Yeah.
They have to play the play-in game on the road. How confident are you that they can do that?
No, then I would not be that confident. One game, winner take all type of thing on the road. Yeah, they're going to be in trouble. They've only won 7 games. Only won 7 games on the road. Then they would be in trouble. In a series, I have a little bit more faith. Winner take all on the road, especially, say they drop to the 9th. It's the 9th seed, right?
Yes.
What if they go on the road and play Lakers?
That's what I'm saying.
Go on the road in Minnesota at home. They're okay, but that's a tough place to go and play. Yes. So, Thunder, oh my God. If it was the Thunder, I would lose it. I think that would be awesome. Thunder money line, betting the Thunder. I love OKC in that game, but yeah, it's a one-game scenario. I don't trust them at all. In a series, I have a little bit more trust because of the championships that they have won. But being 7-29 on the road is not great. And making no effort to change that or improve that, it's not good. Not good at all. Let's go to what is trending. Speaking of the Warriors,
yes,
Dillon Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies. A little bit of beef. What's the beef?
Ground beef, little ground beef.
Yeah, with the Warriors.
I love it though. First and foremost,
you like the feud?
I think it's good for the league for Dillon Brooks versus the Golden State Warriors.
You want more feuds going on?
I want more feud. Okay. I want more attention because that brings more excitement to the games. It makes people more interested to find out what's going to transpire in those games.
That is true.
The Warriors, when they played Memphis, not this past game, but the previous game before that, with the whole Draymond noise, right? Mm-hmm. With him talking trash on his podcast about Dillon Brooks, and then Dillon Brooks go out into the next game and has a great game, solid game, and then he follows that up, doubles down again, post-game comments from both parties, both the Warriors and the Grizzlies, come back for the next game, this previous one, and it's just all Dillon Brooks again. Remember, there's been no Ja Morant.
No.
So somebody got to be
Someone's got to take it for the Grizz.
Somebody got to take up for the Grizz. So you got Dillon Brooks out here with the mouthpiece chirping at the championship team.
I don't get it.
Golden State Warriors coming off the championship 4 times. They're going to remind you every time. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to do it every time.
Yeah, every single time. And they should. They should, especially against a team like the Grizzlies. Come on. I loved the Grizzlies, and I love the youth, and I love the underdog mentality and all of that. But they've jumped the shark. They've jumped the shark. You're not fun or cool anymore.
Why not?
Until you win something. Show me that you can win, and then you can trash talk whoever and whatever you want. But until then, especially with all the stuff with Ja Morant, all the off-court issues that the Memphis Grizzlies have had this season, you can't be trash talking like that.
Okay.
You just can't. I want to see this team start winning playoff games, going to the finals, and then doing something there. Until then, stop trash talking.
Old man on the block. Mr. Old man on the block.
This is such an old man take for me, and I love the Grizzlies, and I love a lot of the players in the Grizzlies. I think Ja's still going to be awesome and fun, but you need to stop talking, especially with the season you have been having. Stop. Just stop, focus on the game, and just get to the playoffs, and then maybe start doing some talking. But until then, come on.
In their defense, in the Grizzlies' defense, right?
Yep.
Number 3 in the West. So it ain't like the trash. The trash talk is going to waste, right? And then I feel you on a championship, become a championship contender, reach the finals.
At least get to the finals
before you talk that mess.
You don't have to win.
But my biggest thing right now is in between these lines, right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking about what you did or what you've done. We talking about right here and right now. And right now, Dillon Brooks is having a ball against the Warriors. He is chirping. He outplaying Klay Thompson, if you ask me, in the game. So it's like in this moment right here, you can talk about how many rings you have. That's all fine and dandy. But right now, I'm kicking your butt. Like right now. Now, in this moment, we trash talking right now. I'm kicking your butt right now.
So you see that, you're like, Klay, you need to stop doing the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because that doesn't matter right now. Now, that doesn't matter.
Sure.
In this game right now, the whistle blow, that don't matter. After the game, we can talk about how many championships I done reached and haven't reached, and this, that, and the third. That's fine. But beat me tonight. Like, that's what I'm about. Beat me right now. Beat me tonight. And that's what Dillon Brooks went out there and did. He went out there and he led that team to victory, playing tough defense on Steph.
Yeah.
Steph tried to make it not about Dillon Brooks and make it about the Grizzlies. No, it's about Dillon Brooks versus all the Warriors, one by one.
Interesting. I can agree with that. I think I'm okay with that. It's just I need the team to start showing that they can do some stuff.
No, they got to reach the Western Conference Finals, win the West, or something like that. I understand that perspective.
I just want to see a series. That's all I want. I want a series between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Just please, God, give me that series. That would be fantastic. Temperature check. One of our newer segments.
Yeah.
Take the temperature, some teams, some players, whatever it is. Looking at the Lakers.
Yes,
taking the temperature.
I had to.
Let's get the thermometer out.
Mm-hmm.
What's the temperature? How are you feeling about the Lakers right now?
I'm feeling like a 40-degree day.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the reference.
You don't like the cold, though.
I don't like the cold. But it's like a 40-degree day. So
okay.
A 40-degree day ain't really too cold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't really bother too many people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stringer Bell for the 40-degree day reference. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you watch The Wire if you don't. But a 40-degree day is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just a regular day. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to complain. Nobody's going to be bothered. But no one's going to make enough impact either to make improvements. That's been the Lakers right now. Like, they haven't been playing consistent game by game. And maybe that has something to do with day-to-day Davis and LeBron not being there.
Right.
But Davis got to play every night. I don't care what the GM or what the front office believes in terms of back-to-back. We can't have that right now.
Right.
Race is too tight. You know what I'm saying? There's been too many 40-degree days from the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? We need some 60-degree weather.
We do.
We need some 65-degree weather from the LA Lakers for real.
And the LeBron being out a lot, that's a killer. That's a killer because he's probably, there's no way he's back until they need him for the playoffs. I just
think so.
I don't see, unless they are really on the outside looking in, maybe he comes back.
Okay.
But if they're gonna make at least a playing game, just keep him out until the playing game. So? Maybe give him a game to like get back. I don't know how many games he needs to get back into the flow of things, but it's just not worth it. I mean, the guy has tried to put the team on his back all season. No Anthony Davis. You got trades going through. You got players coming and going. Like, this has been LeBron's thing, and he hasn't done any of the load management that I think he wanted or expected to do
or deserve.
100%. This man should be playing 25 minutes a night, maybe taking back-to-backs off, that type of thing. And instead he's playing 35. Yeah. He should absolutely have the Kawhi treatment. It should be Anthony Davis helping him. It should have been Russell Westbrook helping him out, keeping this team in the middle of the Western Conference, letting LeBron wait it out until the playoffs.
Yes.
And that didn't happen at all.
Sitting 10th. Sitting 10th right now.
It was the opposite. I mean, every time Anthony Davis falls, he gets hurt. And that's just shameful to me.
It's unfortunate.
So hopefully they can keep him out until the playoffs, when they will make the playoffs without him, be able to hold him out until then. But yeah, it's not good. I don't think the temperature's hot at all in LA. It's worrisome to me what the Lakers are doing, because if you're relying, and I love the guy, but if you're relying on Austin Reeves to score 40 points tonight, you're not going anywhere.
But it happened once, and now he wants the $50 million. Now he want to be up 50.
What's the bag? I respect that, honestly.
Now your team.
Yeah, let's do a temperature check on the Bulls.
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm a little, I went through the stats for the Bulls over the last 5-10 games.
Mm-hmm.
Get this. You'd be surprised.
All right, I'm listening.
In net rating.
Uh-huh.
They're number 2 over the last 5 games.
Know what that means.
So basically most of March. That means that they're playing a really good offense, really good defense. They're top 10 in offensive and defensive efficiency over the last month.
Mm-hmm.
They're number 2 against the 76ers, who are number 1. They play tonight. So that's actually kind of a fun game. Bulls defense has been getting better. Patrick Beverley effect a little bit right there for them.
Yep.
The offense has been okay, but they've been winning decent amounts of games. They're a 10th spot in the East right now.
Wins. Can they make the playoffs? Remember, I told you.
Well, they're going to make the playing game for sure.
Playoffs. I said they're going to make the playoffs.
It's going to be tough.
Is it really?
If the playoffs started, if the playoffs started today, they're in the playing game against the Raptors. They'd have to beat the Raptors.
Now, I had a conversation with one of our coworkers about that matchup in particular. How confident are you that the Bulls can beat the Raptors in a winner-take-all?
55%.
That's kind of the answer I got from someone else, too, is that they're not as confident with the Bulls beating the Raptors as they would be as the Bulls beating the Hawks.
Yes, the Hawks look...
I know the Bulls can beat the Hawks. See, I'm still confident, though, with the Bulls beating the Raptors. I understand the Raptors have the length, you know what I'm saying, the bother Zach LaVine, the bother DeMar DeRozan.
Yep.
I understand that. But I still think they can overcome that with the Vucevic and like some of the key pieces. And then I think Patrick Beverley, knowing that this is a winner-take-all game, he's going to treat it like a championship like he did last year for the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Pat Bev and the Bulls.
I think 100%. Pat Bev, you put him on Fred VanVleet a little bit, piss him off, whatever it is. I think that's probably a good move. I'm a little worried about having to go and play Miami in Miami. The Heat are actually pretty decent at home. Bulls are not very good on the road.
I feel about them. I don't even want them to make the postseason.
Yeah, I don't know if that probably won't happen. But I mean, the Bulls are still a game in. It would be great if they could get that playing game at home against the Raptors. They're only a game behind Toronto. There's still a lot of moving pieces that have to happen. But the temperature check for the Bulls, slightly optimistic.
Okay.
I think, if we're talking about actual temperature, it was feel like 35 degrees, a little windy. You didn't feel great. Kind of hurt your face to go outside.
Sound like 40-degree weather to me.
Now we're in the 50s.
Okay,
yeah,
50s?
We're kind of in the 50s.
Okay.
Calm winds. Kind of feels like spring's coming through. I'm slightly optimistic about the Bulls. Slightly optimistic about the Chicago Bulls. Let's go to On the Hotline.
Yes, sir.
And you can find us anywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Leave comments, 773-273-9088. Ty Dandridge. D'Angelo Russell is something special. He says, I hope the Lakers keep him.
I think they will be able to. I think they should be able to.
Second go-round for D'Lo.
Yep.
Looking pretty good.
I think it'll be long-term. I also believe Austin Reeves, bro, I know you want all that money, but listen, Lakers got to go get Kyrie from Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, they got to go get him because I don't think he's going to stay. But I think somebody else comes in for Dallas, though, and substitute that contract and that money to help, get some more pieces around Luka. But Kyrie to LA Lakers for sure. LA Lakers 2025 NBA champions, 2024 champions. You can book it for sure.
He's just throwing out things like that now, I guess.
Just all because somebody said D'Angelo Russell was something special. Well, as long as they got D'Lo on the roster still.
Yeah, right.
Anthony Davis. You tell me, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James. That four in the lineup. You don't think that's a championship contending team? It's a lot of money to be made for sure.
I just hear injuries.
Okay.
I hear injury central. I hear 20 games at most for a lot of those guys. 100%. On paper, it's awesome. But in reality, injuries. Night in, night out. We got a tweet at Points Paint. Mark Pearson, he said Embiid has 8 rebounds because he didn't play in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. Meanwhile, Jokic playing the whole fourth quarter, down 20, doing everything he can to get a triple-double.
Now, what does that say for you? Like, when you read that?
That says I need to see Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon play better defense so the team's not down 20. And Jokic play better defense.
Or does it say Nikola Jokic play better defense? And is your boy out here stat padding? Now,
no.
I'm not a believer.
The only reason he's stat padding is because no one else can get stats on that team.
The only reason.
Get out of here.
I don't agree with any player stat padding or because if you go chase a rebound, you go chase a rebound.
Sure.
My biggest thing with that is rebounds is all effort. Like, you got to be in assists. Somebody got to make the shot. Like, that's like you might pass someone the ball, they might miss. So the night that Nikola Jokic only got 6 assists is because he probably passed the ball to like 12 different other guys. And they all missed the shot. So he didn't get the triple double that night.
No.
But Embiid getting them 8 rebounds, I don't need that though. I need the 10. So I don't care if he didn't play the fourth.
Can I also say Embiid plays 1 more minute per game than Jokic, just by stats. That's true. That's a number. He plays more points. He plays more minutes a game than Jokic.
Okay.
But I agree. I think when you have Jokic has good playmakers around him that when he gives them the ball in the right spot, they are great. Like an Aaron Gordon in the post with a dunk, with an alley-oop, whatever it is.
Yep.
They have great chemistry for that. Jamal Murray can be pretty good too, and Michael Porter Jr.'s found his outside shot, so he has playmakers around him. But the stat padding stuff, I didn't buy it with Russell Westbrook. I'm not buying it with Jokic.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You would have to be an ungodly good player to stat pad night in and night out in the NBA. You just and you'd have to have great players around you, obviously. Instead of, why isn't it like, oh, Jokic is putting his teammates in the best position to score a basket? Why isn't that being talked about? How is it stat padding for assists? How is he not putting himself in great position to rebound? It's the same with Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double. He put himself in good positions, and he put his teammates in good positions to score. So the stat padding stuff's insane. That's insane to me. If this was college basketball, you could stat pad on college basketball because the talent level is very different. Not in the NBA. Don't give me that. Don't give me that stat padding stuff.
I just want to throw it out there. I just want to see, you know what I'm saying, where your thought process was with your doughy son.
No. Get rid of the stat padding. I can say that and strongly feel that because I said that against Russell Westbrook too. So I'm on every side of this argument here. Stat padding's not a thing in the NBA unless you're on a terrible team. That's the only way. If you're on a terrible team and you're the main guy, sure, stat padding's there. Okay. But you can't be on a really good team and stat pad. That doesn't make sense. That just means you're a great player making a good team great. That's all it is.
Listen, y'all heard, man. That's all it is. Y'all heard my main man. You heard, ain't no stat padding from Denver Nuggets big man to Jokic. Even though he's no longer the MVP favorite.
That's true.
Shout out to Joel Embiid for, slowly trying to take that crown these last few weeks of the season.
Yes, he is.
We gonna make a better something, big. We gonna see who gonna close this bad boy out. Loser gotta get lunch for him or something.
Yeah, right.
I'm team Embiid and you team Doughy son for sure.
I am. Love my Doughy child, the Michelin Man.
That's going to conclude this edition of the Points to the Paint podcast, presented by Stadium, NBA's #1 podcast here at Stadium. You know it, at Points Paint. That's where you find us. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You see these lovely faces even on TikTok. Watch Stadium's TikTok. Follow Watch Stadium at all the social handles that you possibly can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You see Ben's lovely face. See this lovely face, right?
Yes.
You can follow us on social media at Zach Badgerhouse, at Ben Wittenstein on our social handles respectively. Of course, follow Shams for all your NBA breaking news. Listening to Points in the Paint. Listen to, give your peoples out.
Sharp lessons.
Yeah.
Do it. Listen to everything that we put out there. Follow Stadium. Follow Stadium Bets. Follow Points in the Paint.
Stadium Bets.
Follow everything. Whatever it is. Whatever Stadium does, just follow it. We're good.
There you go.
Love it.
That's going to conclude this edition of the Points in the Paint podcast. You hear from us next week. Boom, boom.